Hi, it's Peter with Dean Team Golf Carts, and today we'll be talking about the electronic motor brake. So you have an EZGO RXV golf cart and you have run out of power and you need to tow it home. This golf cart presents a unique challenge to be able to do that because it has an electromagnetic brake on the rear axle. What that means is this golf cart does not have traditional drum brakes where you hit the pedal and you have to lock it so that the brakes stay locked in position. It has an auto locking brake feature mechanism where after a couple of seconds you'll hear an audible click, and that's the automatic brake locking to prevent your motor from turning and your golf cart doesn't roll away. But this can be a challenge because in order for that electromagnetic brake to work properly, it needs to have enough power because power is sent to it in order for it to disengage. It's kind of like a clutch mechanism. Here today we're going to explain how you can go about releasing that in a couple of different ways. The first way is under your seat. I've pulled this off to be able to show. You have a run and a tow switch on this cover here. So the first easiest way, if you have power to your cart and it has enough power to power the brakes, this should work so that you can tow your cart. You need to release that so that the cart can roll freely. So we'll put that switch into tow first, and secondly we'll be turning the key into the on position and you hear it engage, and now at this point your cart should be able to roll freely. So as long as you have enough power, that's the easiest way to get your cart to be towed. Secondly, if something's not working correctly and you need to tow your cart and you either ran out of power or something else happened, like a solenoid is not working correctly, you have instructions on this cover. There are a couple pins already pulled out of this cover to be able to get it off easily, but you'll have to pull these little plastic pins out in order to get this cover up. But there are some warnings and instructions on the cover as well as on the back of the cover, and these instructions specifically go into how to reroute manually power to your motor brake. So what you'll have on here is a 1 and a 2 switch, a 3 and a 4 switch. So your 1 and 2 pins facilitate the normal run operation of the cart. When you disconnect these, that will no longer be able to happen. Then you have your 3 pin connected into the empty 4 pin. When you disconnect this, what you'll be doing is transferring this. This is the battery pack power. And what this is going to do is provide power directly to the motor brake so that it can disengage. When I plug this in, you should hear an audible click, and at that point your cart will be able to move freely. So if you're on a hill or not on some level surface, it's a good idea to chalk it or just make sure it's not going to roll away on you, because once you plug this in it will be movable. So you should hear the click. And now once again our golf cart should be able to move freely. So just make sure that it doesn't roll away on you. Secondly, only keep these plugged in or in the run and tow position for as long as you need to tow the cart. Once you're done and you've got it to a safe location, make sure you do disconnect it, because if the brake is receiving power for an extended period of time, it can start to heat up, it will drain your batteries, and it can damage the brake. So if for any reason when you plug in the switch manually and your motor brake doesn't release, unfortunately there's no real good way to move your cart after that. The one thing you should not do is tow your cart if that motor brake is engaged. If the action of the tires starts rolling, it can really damage parts of the rear of the axle and the motor and the cart, as well as the motor brake itself. If your motor brake itself has failed and it's not releasing, that may be one of the reasons your cart won't disengage when you provide it with power. So really the only thing you can do at that point in order to move your cart is actually physically remove that motor brake. There are I think 3 10mm bolts on the end of that, but you'll have to end up climbing under the cart and unscrewing those and pulling that motor brake off to allow the motor to rotate freely. But those are really your options, and probably easiest and best order to hardest, and ones you might want to avoid if you can. That's it. Thanks for watching. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Dean Team Golf Carts.